Good evening, TheoTrade. This is Corey Rosenblumen. You're watching the Theo Nightly Video for the 9th of March here in 2021, and we have a reversal of fortunes, mainly from the tech sector being negative and down in the session yesterday, and financials being strong along with energy. But today, the exact opposite dynamic was in play. Capital rotation took us out of the financials and energy, right? This is the XLF financial sector, XLE energy, and rotated it right into technology and also consumer discretionary as well. We'll take a look at these, but I would be remiss if I didn't show you this right here, and I'll demonstrate these little combinations, which is Tesla was up 20% today, and the NASDAQ was up about 4%. And that's a big play. And again, there is your XLK. So the XLK is your technology sector. XLY is consumer discretionary. That does include Amazon, but nevertheless, these are the two headlines out of tonight's video. Tech strength, Tesla strength, and Nvidia not to be outdone. Joined the game up 8% today. PayPal, which was down yesterday, was up 7% today, and we'll take a look at these and more. Start with the NASDAQ, actually. And it is this broader uptrend that still is in play, but this is the hourly chart, and these are longer term duration trades, and these are shorter term swing or very quick intraday logic positions. And we have the market playing up away from the weekly expected move. And for the NASDAQ, just put it back in the NASDAQ terms, there were some interesting things happening today. And they include what's happening where markets are at their extremes. And the NASDAQ yesterday was into the weekly expected move. And this is the auto-generated weekly expected move here at TheoTrade. And that was Monday's low. And the NASDAQ rotated 4% higher, at least in today's session, even more so when you include the play yesterday into today, overnight data, basically. And the S&P didn't really come into play too much today, but that's a wide expected move logic play, but it was just about the opposite. So yesterday, I made the comment, it would be a nice trade to go short the top of the weekly expected move in the Dow, but long the weekly expected move in the NASDAQ. And that's kind of a pairs trade, but it's back to what we talked about at the start. It's the unwinding, it's the rotation, and it's this market movement, money flow within the sectors. It's reversal of fortune. So that's the NASDAQ at the bottom coming up, and there's the Dow at the top coming down. Not to be outdone, the smaller cap index is the Russell, and the Russell traded down from its 22, almost 60, 2252, 51 level, and that was roughly today's reversal point. So that's just a bigger picture play over the few of the markets are at the top of this expected move or top of their range, but the NASDAQ is actually trading up away from its lower range. Again, just capital rotation. That's maybe shown best within the financial. We'll go ahead and look at these intraday plays. Right, just looking at the chart here. Financials were strong yesterday, but weak today. We'll maximize the screen and just basically focus on the price action. Very strong yesterday, weak today. Technology was very weak yesterday, but strong today, and that was really a trend all the way from bell to bell. And the other side of the equation is the energy sector or energy market, which was a little bit strong, has been strong, but then came off today. The same dynamics play into the bigger picture where we're looking at the daily charts. So again, we have the daily on the left and the hourly on the right. So this rotation, that is clearly overbought, that is clearly overextended. And the best trades are to fade or to go short or play puts within this 34.50 or thereabout level for the financial sector. And technology is just oversold, and it's best played from the long side. Again, I'm just looking short term this week and maybe a little bit beyond that. But that's the play, and that's where the market is rotating or reversing. Reversal of fortune again. And the energy sector has been relentlessly strong. And this will play out with individual stocks, for example, ExxonMobil, which is helping drive the XLE. But again, it's more played from the put side against 62. And things in the financial sector, which might include Goldman Sachs or really any number of stocks that are financial companies. And there is relentless strength. But again, this is hitting a wall of upper resistance into about 340. But the opposite's true in the technology sector. There's a lot of names that build the technology sector, and one of them is Tesla. And that play off the 550 level took it, that's just remarkable. But Tesla has high volatility. In fact, in terms of that high volatility, looking at the option contracts and the movement and the implied volatility, earlier in today's session, that hit 100. So this Friday expiration has 96. We go out a few Fridays in the future, and the implied volatility is upwards of 95, 96%. And then these will create the expected moves for Tesla, and that is Friday's expected move is about $52. Tesla today, if we zoom in kind of quickly on it, zoom in, and it's a $110 movement from low to high, or yesterday's close at the high. So that is just a quick snapback. And these candles right here, don't pay too much attention to them. They are errant prints. They don't show up on the other frames. So these are little fault sticks. But nevertheless, Tesla has been volatile from 450 in November, peaking at 900 at the end of January, and has been almost cut in half down to 550 per share. But NVIDIA hit that moving average. That's been a little bit longer time frame target that's been achieved, and PayPal just fell shy, and the other stocks as well. Qualcomm hit that. That was the update from last week's video on the bigger picture plays. And these are stocks that were strong today. Apple is an example that fell toward its target, and that's about 115 level per share. And then Amazon is actually a consumer discretionary stock. It's not quite considered a technology name, even though we think of it as technology. It actually falls within the XLY. And the XLY is your consumer retail or discretionary names. And it was up. Amazon, I know it's a much higher price stock than Tesla, but Amazon also was up $110. But it was only, I say only to be funny, but it really was only up almost 4% in today's session. So that's just rotation. This is the market. This is volatility. There's rotation beneath the scenes or behind the scenes that if you're not paying too close attention, you might be looking at the indices, especially the Dow Jones or the Dow Mini Futures, which just hit in today's session. Correct. In Monday, there was an all-time high. And in today's session, Tuesday, that is an all-time high. But the rotation was at the downside. So money came out of some of the stocks in the Dow. Disney was one of them. It was very, very strong yesterday. And we'll just see that on the chart. We'll pull up to a 1-minute chart. It was very strong very weak actually, very strong on Monday. Strong on Monday, 194 to 203. And today's session came down from 202. We ended the session at 194. So that really is a volatile move for a stock that you might not think of as a very, very volatile stock. And again, that's just the rotation. This is Disney. That's the name of the video. That's the focus of tonight's video, is rotation, a reversal of fortune from yesterday into today. Outside the equity market, crude oil fell with the equity market today. And then gold, this is a daily chart. Gold, as we see it, bounced. That is a rotation a little bullishly for gold after a multiple downtrend event. And finally, the bond market had a little bit of a reversal of fortune, if you can call that a reversal of fortune. It still is a bullish bounce. It's coming off this 138, almost 137.50 per share level, and that is the TLT. If you trade bonds, that is ZB, and notes, the 10-year, is ZN. And we'll finish the perspective with TNX, which is your 10-year Treasury yield. And that 1.616 is actually 1.6%. That's a level we're going to watch very closely here at TheoTrade. As always, be careful and safe. This is Corey Rosenblum with tonight's Theo video update for March 9th, 2021.